some time at the end for you to walk around, for you to mingle, and for you to browse the contents of the time capsule that was opened this morning, for you to look at the content of a new time capsule that will be created at the end of this year, to continue this tradition that has been started. So there'll be plenty of time for you to explore. Good evening. I want to welcome you to Jeffries Grove Elementary and our time capsule opening event in celebration of our rich history. Today we will share the contents of the vault that was sealed in 1996 to be opened 25 years later in 2021. Yes, we know it is 2022. And we are happy to be able to host Blast from the Past in person as we leave behind a national pandemic. You will see the pandemic theme reflected tonight in some of the student work that will be contained in a new time capsule, which will be sealed at the end of this school year and opened in 2048. My name is Juli Ventura, and since 2019, I have been the proud principal of Jeffries Grove Magnet Elementary, a community 97 years in the making. I would like to thank our teachers and teacher assistants for supporting the work of our students every day. Later on this evening, you'll get the chance to participate in a gallery walk where you will see some of that work displayed. Our administrative team, Ms. Percy, Ms. Beasley, our custodians, our office staff, our art teacher, Ms. Botfeld, have all helped make tonight possible. I want to thank them. I would also like to welcome our special guest tonight, Chris Haggerty, our board member. Northern Area Superintendent Chris McCabe. Dr. Alfred Keith, Senior Director of Strategic Initiatives. And Kevin Hill, who was the principal of Jeffries Grove when the time capsule was created. Every single one of you is a special guest tonight. We have many former teachers who contributed to the rich history of our school. We have current teachers. We have our PTA presidents and our former PTA presidents who spend countless hours here. We have parents who volunteer in our classrooms daily. So every single one of you is special to us. I would like to take the opportunity to tell you about the rich history of our school. In 1925, two school communities, Piney Grove and Jeffries, decided to merge and raise money to build a single school for children living near the Creedmoor Road area. Many families were members of the Baptist Grove Church, which supported the money-raising effort with barbecues, box parties, and other fundraisers. Dockery Peebles Sr. and his wife, Mary Peebles, gave 3 acres of land for the specific purpose of raising a cotton crop to earn money for the new school. Children from both Piney Grove and Jeffries schools picked the cotton after school. One day a week, parents from both school communities would care for the cotton crop. The men would plow the crop while the women chopped it. Additional money to support the effort was contributed by the Rosenwald Fund. This was a fund established to help communities desiring financial assistance for African Americans. The Rosenwald Fund was named after Julius Rosenwald, a man whose philanthropic efforts helped boost education for African Americans in the rural, segregated South by helping communities build schools. Through the untiring effort of the community members and the Rosenwald Fund, enough money was raised to build the school. Lengthy discussions were held to find an appropriate site for the new school. Mr. Lockhart, superintendent of Wake County Schools at the time, directed surveyors to measure the distance between both Piney Grove and Jeffries schools to determine a midpoint between the two communities. The property closest to the midpoint was owned by Mr. Peebles. The school opened in 1926 with 4 classrooms and 3 teachers. Superintendent Lockhart recommended naming the school Jeffries Grove, combining the legacy of the 2 former schools. The school was heated with pot-belly stoves, which helped make the school environment warm enough to house students from 1st to 7th grade. There were 3 teachers, and one of them, Mr. Freeman, was also the principal. Mr. Peebles' home telephone was used as the school's line for many years, as Jeffries Grove was not wired to have a telephone line. And so phone calls were made to the Peebles household, asking members of the Peebles family to deliver messages to the school staff. Mr. Freeman, who was 75 years of age, retired as the principal of Jeffries Grove after his first year. And Miss Smith, who was one of the 3 teachers on staff, was appointed principal. I learned that Miss Smith lived in the Peebles home during numerous bouts of inclement weather. In 1935, 5 students graduated from Jeffries Grove with plans to attend Barry O'Kelly High School. However, there was no available transportation for the students. And so Mr. Peebles furnished a car for the students to attend high school. A year later, Mr. Peebles asked the school board to provide bus transportation for the high school students. The first bus driver was Mr. Peebles' oldest son, with bus driving duties handed down through his sons for 13 years. In 1949, 7 schools were combined with Jeffries Grove, which created a need for a new cinder block building. And this was at the same location. Additional buses were added, and Mr. Peebles continued to pay property taxes on behalf of the school. Finally, in 1957, Mr. Peebles signed the land deed over to the school, ensuring the continuation of Jeffries Grove. In 1968, additional property from the Peebles Dockery land was sold to the Wake County Board of Education for a bus parking lot. After the school population continued to grow, a new wing was added in 1971, and over 16 trailers were part of the school campus by 1994. In 1995, the entire school was relocated to Hilborn Drive Elementary until a new 2-story building was completed. The 1996-1997 school year began in the new building, which houses us today. The school serves 600 students with 30 teachers, specialists, and teacher assistants. In addition to regular education programs, Jeffries Grove provided classes for children with special learning needs, preschool, and English as a second language. In 1996, the new Jeffries Grove Elementary was dedicated to the late Dr. E. Peebles Sr., and the time capsule was created. The MC of that event, Kevin Hill, who also joins us today, kept the content of the vault a very well-kept secret. I tried to get a hint from him about what was in it, and he wouldn't tell me. Mr. Peebles' legacy at Jeffries Grove continues, as his family lives near the school, and his great-granddaughter, Hannah Kearney, graduated from Jeffries Grove in 2004. As a 5th grader, Hannah was selected as the Jeffries Grove Student of the Year. Mr. Peebles' memory was honored in 1996 at a dedication program of the new Jeffries Grove School. And his portrait was hung in the lobby of our school and still is. And material from that day was placed in the time capsule we are revealing today. Thousands of children in Wake County have received an education by virtue of the hard work of a community through the guidance, the generosity, and the dedication of Joffrey Peebles Sr. For the past 11 years, Jeffries Grove Magnet Elementary has been home to a full Spanish immersion program, the first in Wake County. Full immersion means that children in the program are learning what every child needs to know, math, reading, science, and social studies, but they learn the content in Spanish. The Spanish immersion program offers unique benefits to the students in it, bilingualism, but it also offers our school at large a unique gift, and it is the richness of an international staff. Our participate teachers, half of our staff, share their different cultures and perspectives on their professional learning teams in the playground, in the staff lounge, on our stage, our hallways, daily, bringing global perspectives and cultural awareness to everyday interactions. We are a better community because of this. The mission of Jeffries Grove School in 1996, when the time capsule was created, was to provide a high-quality educational program that enabled students to reach their full potential within a safe and caring environment. It has not changed. Jeffries Grove Elementary provides a relevant and engaging education and graduates students who are collaborative, creative, critical thinkers, and effective communicators. While principals and teachers and cohorts of students have cycled in and out of buildings that have been renovated and upgraded, one thing remains constant. The Jeffries Grove community continues to be the pillar that sustains the work that we do for kids. From our PTA, to our partner faith organizations, to our families, to our staff, our neighbors, we are thankful for the power of a community that values education and puts the needs of children first. When I think of our history and our legacy, the words community, dedication, vision, advocacy, partnership, generosity, and diversity all come to mind. These same values characterize us today and charge us to continue to celebrate and uplift the Jeffries Grove community. So at this time, we're going to transition to our gallery walk. But I want to give you a little layout of the gym tonight. In the front, right here, you'll be able to explore the contents of the 1996 time capsule. We ask that you open the material and browse it, but please be gentle. Imagine the front of the school being the museum, okay? In the back, you'll find light refreshments and decorations from 1996. On both sides of the gym, you'll find student work from this year, organized by grade levels and themes. This content is what we are going to include in the new time capsule. To the right, to your right, you have kindergarten, first, second, and third grade. And to your left, you'll see fourth and fifth grade, and there's current events and COVID narratives in English and in Spanish from fifth grade. I think these COVID narratives are going to be primary sources of history in 25 years for sure. So before we transition and let you browse and mingle and enjoy our time together, we are raffling 2 Jenga games from 1996. Okay.
What?
Okay. Lee Merritt. And our second and last winner of the night is Laura Fleming. All right, it is now time to mingle and enjoy. Thank you for being here tonight.